welcome back to Writing Off the Deep End. I'm Geoffrey Edwards.
And I'm Mary Thaler, and this is the second part
of a section on dramatic writing. So the first time we dealt with opera writing, and today we're going to look at writing theatre for theatre, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
let's get started.
Okay.
Yeah, the first play I ever wrote was when I was a student at university, and I got really excited about. It was a historical play. You know that I love writing historical fiction. It was about this character Petronius, who you might have heard of, who was best friends with Emperor Nero, one of his drinking buddies.
Okay.
So I had sort of read about him in history books, and I decided to write a kind of. The play was about his household, and it was very bustling. There were lots of people coming in and out, and it was humorous, but it was also a bit tragic, and it was, I was really quite pleased with it. And so then I sent it off to a playhouse because I was young and brash, and I got a really nice rejection letter back. But the person had sort of taken the time to explain things to me, and they said... this was funny and heartwarming, but they explained professional theatre companies can't put on plays with lots of characters,
right,
because they have to pay all their actors.
Exactly. And
it quickly gets too expensive for them. That was my little crash course in the economics of theatre. And so this wouldn't really work for them. And I'm sure there were other flaws in it. As well, but that was the main one. So I put that aside for a while. And then not too many years ago, I had written actually a science fiction story that was set in a post-apocalyptic Quebec City.
Right, it's the one I read.
Yeah, I wrote it as prose. It was almost a novella. It was 10,000 words. And I was revising it, I was trying to cut it down. To make it a short story, and I thought to myself, oh my goodness, here I have a story, it's got only 2 characters, and they do nothing but walk around and talk for 10,000 words, and I thought, 2 characters, lots of dialogue, maybe I had been trying to make it into a short story, but maybe it's a play. So that was the moment. We've talked a bit before about how I really do believe that every story has a form that's exactly right for that story. So it felt like finding the form.
Finding the right form, or sort of locking into it, as it were.
Yeah. And so I wrote a script. I can't actually talk much more about it because at the moment it's just sitting at that script phase. It's had some public readings.
Yes, but you had it read out in public, so by a playwright group in Montreal, right? So.
Which was phenomenally helpful. I mean, you write in all these lines and you think, oh, this is so cool. Like, this character is really, this is great. This is good stuff. And then you hear someone reading it and you think, oh. Oops. So that occasioned some good rewriting. That was really really helpful.
I certainly found that with the opera too. There were some things that had to be changed.
And it's unfortunately got some technical requirements, which I think is the other rookie mistake that we make when we get excited about our first play or libretto, perhaps. And you don't necessarily think about how difficult technical things will be.
No.
And I think that's something that only experience can teach. In the intervening years, I worked as a stage manager and a lighting designer for a community theater company, and suddenly I was thinking about all kinds of little details that don't seem important.
When you're writing.
Yeah, but suddenly where things are on the stage and getting people on and off. Oh my gosh, these little details.
Yeah.
And that's incredibly important.
Yeah, so. Indeed. And I think also that with a more experience, because I was convinced with the work on the opera that we ended up doing a virtual staging because we could control all the aspects of it.
Yeah.
Whereas a live staging would have required a lot of technical expertise in staging, which we didn't really have. We had some people involved in the project who had some experience with that, but they were peripheral to the project, and so it was hard to figure out how to get that to work. So, and we had a fairly limited budget, so we ended up doing with it a virtual opera rather than which, you know, the modern technology allows you to do this kind of stuff. But
yeah, no, there's a lot of value to that too. Is it maybe a bit closer to? It's not. It may have been virtual, but it wasn't quite the same as say making a short film either.
No, because it's interactive. It's actually an interactive program that runs, and we voiced it live. So we would play the interactive program, which would allow the audience to interact with elements going on in the opera, and then our singers would sing live along with the visual elements. So it was a kind of a mixed live and virtual production.
That's pretty cool. So looking back on these experiences, are there certain writing skills that had to come to the fore in dramatic writing that you hadn't? Well,
it was the team effort and the team elements that I think were. I mean, I was open to a collaborative experience, but the constraints on it were huge. I mean, were a real challenge to deal with, but not enough to deter me doing it again.
Okay. When the time's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. You maybe don't another opera.
I do admire in a way, because I had the right team to do an opera. I think I would like to write drama, but I think having been through that experience, I wouldn't want to do drama without the right team.
You maybe need the team first before you start writing.
Yeah.
That seems wise. Yeah. Well, for now, I think that's all we've got to say about dramatic writing, at least until our next big shows hit the stage.
Maybe next year we'll talk about it again.
We're going through all the genres, one at a time.
Yeah, so next time we're going to talk about poetry. We both write poetry in different aspects.
Who doesn't write poetry?
Yeah, exactly.
Geoffrey? All of you write poetry too. I know you do.
So we're going to talk about poetry in different ways, the different ways that we deal with it. And thank you for watching. See you next time.
See you.
Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you like what you see.
Yes.
Bye-bye.